Good morning, fellow Nigerians across the globe. I am George Onyibi, and of course this morning, I want us to look at a message I simply titled, Looking at the Igbo Agenda Through the Eye of the British Invasion. You see, to most of you who are referred to as sub-Igbo group, you really have not been able to perceive. You cannot visage the change that is about to come upon you. You ignorantly pretend or ignore the signs that are all around you in the presence of the shenanigans of these Igbo Biafra people. And for you who is Igbo, you see us on social media day after day trying to oppress, lie, and destruction of history. And you know it's the truth. We are doing the right thing. You have failed to call out your people who are on the verge of assimilating other ethnic groups. Maybe you believe it will favor you, even when you know what they are doing is wrong. Look at yourself in your heart of hearts. Are you very proud of what your people or what certain ethnic group who say they are Igbo Biafra are doing in Nigeria? And for the rest of Nigeria, understand that we are not driven by hatred, but this is an attempt to survive. And now, coming back to our topic, looking at the Igbo agenda through the eye of the invention of Europe. Today we have a continent they say is European continent. Nobody was known as European from inception. But this continent was created not to assimilate any ethnic group, but to change history as you know it today, and for the single purpose of being able to dominate the world. And so when the Roman Empire fell, you begin to hear of the Europas, European Union. What are they there to do? European Union. Africa must remain under their claws. This continent, as they say they are, terrorized the whole world. They call it civilization. They call it colonialism. They call it beautiful name. And by implication, they call you names. And so today they have invented the Europeans. They decide the fate of Africa. These people never had a single history, but they are one. You can see the Frenchman will not tell you about the war they have gone with the British man, the Dutchman, the Italian man, the German man, the difference that used to be among them. Today they are Europeans, united by one singular cause, to keep Africa under permanent subjugation. That is why they are there. And so they forged a union that benefits every single member of this union. But it's okay. They will never fought the moral of their father before this time. Let's assume that is the dispensation they are. But the dispensation, the morals of their father, which is absorbed in my own, and I will say unethical, is still keeping us on our heels. And I'm sure with the way Africans are going, maybe in the next 100 years, we will still be here. And today we see the activity, the tactics of these imperialists being projected, being used, deployed against indigenous communities across Africa. But it becomes a concern to us because if we do not speak out, if we do not create a platform where our people will know who they are, we may not be here in the next 100 years. Because the last time I checked, 100 years ago, I am not an Agbo man, because our name has never been Agbo. It was changed. We accepted it. And I'm sure 200 years ago, nobody was called Yoruba man. It was changed. They accepted it. And I'm sure that 100 years ago, nobody is Ikwere man. You changed, you accepted it. It is obvious that 100 years ago or 200 years ago, nobody is Igbo man. You all accepted it, either because it favored you or either because there was nothing you can do. I answer a name of a community that has no meaning in my dialect, because Boji Boji is not an Eka dialect. It is English language. But it's okay. This change took so much from us, but we still has not paid attention to it. And now before our very eyes, some group of charlatans who say they are Igbo Biafra. Understand, we have different kind of categories of Igbo, which I am coming out to tell you that if they refer you to a sub-Igbo group, you are not Igbo. But those who say they are Igbo have created room to accommodate those who say they are Biafra Igbo. They have created platform to accommodate those who say they are also Igbo, that is slave Igbo. They create avenue to accommodate those who they call Wawawa Igbo, that is Igbo that don't have sense. They create the one that they call Igbo Bu Igbo. That means whether you are Wawawa, whether you are Usu, whether you are fake Igbo, original Igbo, all of you are Igbo. And then they have another platform that say Igbo Bu Igbo. By implication, there are Igbos that are truly Igbo, which means all Igbo are not Igbo. Let's get the record straight. And now, they are not satisfied with this hallucinative creation of theirs. They now begin to dish into the air. Bendel Igbo, Delta Igbo, Edo Igbo, Bayelsa Igbo, Yoruba Igbo, Hausa Igbo. And most of you will just think they are bluffing. You are not their target. It is the next generation of our people that is our concern. And believe me, before our time is up, we will make sure we create a platform where nobody will sell the next generation of our people. Nobody. And now each time we are trying to push this truth, this narrative to you, you will see this stout who call themselves Igbo Biafra on my platform. You will hear, he's hungry. Hungry is bad. He's a criminal. He's a rogue. He's a barbarian. He's uncivilized. They call me name. They know me. Most of them know me. They know if they had the privilege, they will choose to be me. But of course, they envy me. And in order to get what I want, they follow those patterns. When the imperialists invaded Africa, they saw what they were looking for. And they did not praise us because of what they saw in our land. But they call us name. They are barbarians. They are hungry. They are uncivilized. A people who cannot, they don't have tissue paper. A people who don't have medicine. A people who cannot survive in their region. Now are coming to give us civilization. But they have to erase our history. As if we never existed. Until one time one European man came, boom, he discovered Nigeria. European came, boom, they discovered my village. Anywhere they go, they discover indigenous people. Our fathers never fought back because they did not know it will bring us on our knees to this very day. But it's uncalled for that a fellow Nigerian, a fellow African will now decide to embark on the same quest to break, destroy, completely annihilating other ethnic groups just to take their land. Igbo Biafra people are not Nigerians. Some say they come from Equatorial Guinea. Some say they come from Gabon. Some say they come from Jamaica. Some say they are the children of Abraham. And we are not disputing it. But this is Nigeria. This is our village. If it's Ikwere land, it's Ikwere land. If it's Agbo land, it's Agbo land. They should not have problem with this. But when we respond, when we, by way of retaliation, counter their narratives, they change it as, oh, you are insulting Igbo people. Look at what they are doing to us. But they are not checking what they are doing to you. And now, let's start one after the other. When I was a child, And when we study the Bible, they make mention of names of country. We were thinking these countries are in heaven. When we hear about Israel, we thought Israel is in heaven. They are not here. And most of you are born in those era where you think all the countries in the Bible were in heaven. Little did we know that they are just behind our backyard here. But if you believe Israel was in heaven, you would worship an Israel man when you meet one. There are names of so many countries that existed in the Bible, and one will begin to wonder, where are they today? Where are the Philistines? Where did they go to? Where are the Amorites? Where are the Moabites? So many countries in the Bible, they are no longer here. It's obvious Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. And so we cannot begin to ask questions, where is Sodom and Gomorrah? Where is all of Childers? Where are those countries, the Amalekites? And somebody will think somewhere along the line, they disappeared. No, they did not disappear. These countries I have mentioned, they were there when Egypt was there. Egypt is still there till tomorrow morning. They were there when, what do you call it? Libya was there. Libya is still here. They were there when Ethiopia in the Bible is still here. And now there are two countries. All the countries that were mentioned in the Bible fall into two categories. Some of them fought and retained their name, even though there were manipulation. The Egyptians of old is still Egyptians today, just that the indigenous personality is questionable. But Ethiopia stands tall among all of them, maintaining the same black people, maintaining the same African history and culture, maintaining their calendar and everything. Little wonder they were not conquered by any invaders, any imperialists. But you think Babylon disappeared? You think the Assyrians, the Macedonians, the Greeks, why are they not telling me I'm from Macedonia? Where are the Tarasitators? Some were annihilated, wiped out. Where are the Red Indians? There was a slogan that used to say in then America, destroy the Indian man, but save the child. Does it not sound convenient? Destroy the Indian man, but save the child. By implication, destroy the original Red Indian, the original African natives, save their children. And then they were colonizing them to be America, no longer India. Little wonder they succeeded in wiping them out. But like I was saying, at the end of the day, all these countries that were in the Bible, you are not seeing them today. Did you think they disappear? My brother, no. They changed their name. Where are the barbarians? They changed their name. Where are the carnivores? They all changed their names. The Babylonians, they changed their names. And so that you will not be looking at them through the eye of the Bible account. Where are the Amalekites? And now they are still here, unrepented, coming after God's people. And so they answer beautiful names today. But this is where I want you to pay attention. Some of them disappeared because they were annihilated. And the Igbo Biafra agenda is targeted to doing just that. Now, let's make it clear. You see this life we have. There is only one thing that can replace life. That is land. If you know your culture and tradition, if you have a people who understand how life runs, if you kill somebody, the only compensation you can give to equate the life of that person is a land compensation. I have seen many death cases where somebody killed somebody, manslaughter, whatever nature. and they agreed to make peace in the end. Even the competent court jurisdiction here in Nigeria will remind you that to be able to wipe it out, you give a piece of land to the family of the deceased, and then that matter is settled permanently. So this is your life. The only thing that can equate it is your land. And so by implication, whoever takes your land has taken your life. Whoever has taken your life has taken your name, has taken your culture, has taken your heritage, has taken your tradition and your value system. And so you virtually does not exist. This is the issue. The Igbo Biafra came out and said that they were going to unify the Igbo because Nigeria government is marginalizing them. I love unification. We pray for the unity of one Nigeria, but we cannot unite under criminality or hopelessness. It's okay, let them continue. But something went wrong along the line because we started as Biafra agitators. Bini people came out, Urobo people came out, Ishekiri, Ijo, Akwa Ibom, every tribe in the south joined these Igbo Biafra people in the southeast. And we wanted a nation where we can be allowed to be the author of our destiny, where there is fairness, justice, equity, transparency, and every leader arming themselves to redeem accountability. We believe in all this. But then we begin to fight, and it was obvious we were fighting to protect the interests of the Igbo Biafra. Because Igodomigodo is Biafra, Esha is Biafra, Edo is Biafra, Idu is Biafra, Abo is Biafra, everybody is Biafra. And the moment we subscribe to it, that we are Biafra, we never know the harm we would have done to our people. And so this morning, I appreciate Usuru Buluwa. I appreciate Ulise. I appreciate the creator of heaven and earth, the one who sees the end even before it begins. If Biafra have succeeded under Nnamdi Kanu, Benin land would have been taken from them. And that is their life as well. And that is applicable to everybody in the South. Because the Biafra agitation actually was about Igbo supremacy. And as we begin to see their body language, it leads us to begin to ask our elders questions. And do you know what we discovered? I will humbly tell you that more than 50% of the land or 40% of the landmass of Nigeria belong to the ancient Benin Empire. We don't have Igbo Empire. How come Igbo people are claiming the land that belonged to Benin Empire, ancient empire? And so Benin people were fighting for Igbo people, and some of them are still doing it today. Some Igbo people are still fighting for Igbo Biafra people, giving the land that does not belong to them to them. The people who don't have even up to 2 plots of land, how could they claim all of us? And once again, I'm grateful to the Creator that Nnamdi Kanu actually showed himself before the end. Because we were not thinking in this direction. So most of us were proudly Biafra. Godomi Godo Biafra, Akatami Kata Biafra, Ototomi Toto Biafra. But I know you don't understand. Now, understand that most of these ethnic groups, these tribes, you don't see anymore. Some of them were annihilated through the following means. They call it civilization, globalization, some of them assimilation, French imperialist policy, some of them annihilation, and some of them through violence. They destroy them, they remove them. The most subtle means of all of them is not even the violence, it's assimilation. You know, during the colonial era, the British was using indirect use, rule, divide and rule, use the people to suffer the people. But the French was using association and assimilation. Join us and become Frenchman. It's the most deadliest, I should say. And so when you are in France and you are a France citizen, you are not seen as France, because you are practically useless. But when something unique happens in your life, you become France citizen. Let me tell you how it functions. One boy woke up one day as African boy. He saw a building burning in France some years back. And the boy used his bare hand and climbed the story building. He got to the top of floor and rescued that boy. From that day, he stopped being an African boy and he became a France citizen. Did you get the story? And so today, when we sing the praise of Igbo people, we are intelligent people, we are handsome people, we are beautiful people, we are wonderful people, we are Mochineke. But when we choose to be original, you become criminal, idiot, hungry man like me, useless, illiterate, idiot. It's always been the same. But the main issue I want you to pay attention, because this broadcast is going to be very, very brief, is the idea to use association and assimilation to eradicate us, remove us. And their own is even more fierce, more deadlier, more poisonous than the French policy of association and assimilation. Because they are marrying our sister. If you are from Abo, you will know we don't marry Igbo people before. When you bring in Igbo wife, your family member will ask you question. And that question they ask you is an indication that you are lost. And you can never be taken serious, because they will monitor every of your move. Because somewhere they feel you have been corrupted. But today, why men sleep? The marriage is everywhere. But I'm not against intermarriage. If love leads you there, go. But today, they are the one forcing to marry us, even though we are useless, even though we are ndualiri, and you think it's love that drives them. Think again. Both our brothers and our sisters, there is intermarriage. And while you are intermarrying because you found love, they are pushing the agenda that you are Igbo. Now, this is the way you begin to ask questions. And those of you who are Igbo, listen with open-minded and don't make a fool of yourself. Because you will never win this battle, not with the truth we have known. Or should I say war? Now, when the people who are Igbo address themselves, this is how they say. They see fellow Igbo, they will say, Iwo onye Igbo. The next thing he hears, Igbo. And this person can be Ngwa man, Aruchuku man, Mbitoru man, Amandoba man, Nkwere man, Olo man. Igbo does not address fellow Igbo as you be Oka Igbo, you be Enugwezike Igbo, you be Owerri Igbo. They expressly say you are Igbo because their ethnic group have been assimilated already by the word Igbo. But when it comes to our side, we begin to hear Rivers Igbo. If I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, we were in a crowd and I come across somebody from my town because he was speaking my language. And when he finished the call he was making, I went to ask, he was very happy. We chatted. And all the Igbo people around there was like, you know him? You know him? Because it looked like we've known ourselves for a very long time. And that is because we believe your language, your land is your power. And then they begin to say, where did they come to ask me, where do you come from? I say, Abo. They don't know where is Abo. An average Igbo man don't know where is Abo. And they were trying to figure out. And I say, okay, Bendel Igbo. I say, okay. Begin to yoke, Ogwashuku, Buzo, all those stuff. Do you understand? So they don't even know us until you put Igbo. And this is not because this is who we are. This is because this is what Nigerians see us to be. This is the only way Nigerian can describe us. Because it looked to me that when Nigeria was divided into three, it looked to me that the imperialist agenda was to allow a cross-section of ethnic group to colonize those in the east, a cross-section of ethnic group to colonize those in the north, a cross-section of ethnic group to colonize those in the west. I think that is the agenda. But it didn't work. It had failed, and it will never work. And now this is where we are. And these people started by saying, Agbo is Igbo, Ikwere is Igbo, this one is Igbo, Okwan is Igbo. It was not a concern to us. But then when they metamorphosed from saying that we answer their name, it became questionable. I answer Igbo name. Is that supposed to be an issue? Because my name is George. It was along the line I decided to find out what is the meaning of George. Because I know it's not the judge in the court of law. And with deep in-depth asking questions, I understand if it were to be in my local language, I will be referred to as Osofia in Igbo land or Onugbu in my own place. It's just a tiller of the soil, just a farmer. That is George. And I answered the name. I barely know the meaning until lately. No European man will come and ask me, why are you answering our name? Because you're answering European name, you must be European. Because all of us would have migrated from Israel. Because all of us answer Philip, John Michael, Angel Gabriel, and the rest of it. But you constantly see Igbo people say, if you are not Igbo, don't answer our name. If you are not Igbo, your name is Igbo. Hey, this one is Igbo. Hey, this one is Igbo. It's concerning, I should say. And then they move on aside that, you begin to hear Ikwere land is Igbo land. Agbo land is Igbo land. Ebake land is Igbo land. Bayelsa is Igbo land. Automatically, it's only your land that can equate your life. They have taken your life from you. So your life is Igbo life. And once they control your land, your culture is gone. Your tradition is gone. Your values will be compromised. Your heritage, you don't exist. Where is the heritage? It's amazing. Everything our ancestors labored for are enjoyed by Igbo people today. And as I speak to you, they are the one telling you, hey, it's a Igbo cloth. Our akwacha nke na soya. Ekwacha hwa soya. Ndị Igbo si wenwe. Akope hwe iji ite egwu ododo efi. Ndị Igbo si wenwe. Akope we lichani ihe lichani enyi ji akpa egwu. Ndị Igbo ewiri igwe awele. Everything that we own, they claim them because they are more on social media platform. And so to cut this long story short, they call you sub-Igbo group. They must put Igbo before they call your village name, your tribe name. Frown from them. They are invading your land through a means known as association and assimilation. And while they are with us, they are copying our lifestyle and then replacing it with a fake one. They used to proud themselves among Nigerians that Igbo Nwezi, by implication, Igbo don't have king. Amazingly today, they are producing king in every community in our land, and that is when they are finished dealing with you, their king will become original. Igbo Nwezi, but they have Eze Ndi Igbo na ala Yoruba. They have Eze Ndi Igbo na ala Agbo. They have Eze Ndi Igbo na ala Ikwere. But Igbo Nwezi, who the heck is fooling who here? Now don't let them take your land. Yes, they are buying land, but that is not an issue. Because what goes around comes around. But the issue is, don't let them take your land. You must regulate the rules, the regulation that governs the land. Forget about what Nigerian constitution say. Land belongs to the original, the aborigine people, the indigenous people. By culture and tradition, it could be divided among community, family, or individual. But I know what the constitution say about land. We are not in dispute here, because no governor will wake up now and go and grab any land. When he leave office, Ogun will kill that governor. His children will be taking drug across the globe because they will be useless. The community will use honor to dome well a Chinese remove. That is one thing they can count on. So the Nigerian constitution regarding land is just to create order and put everybody in their place, just for one Nigeria to survive. But if you willingly give it out, foolishly sell your birthright, may the Lord be with you. But if you ignorantly lose the regulation of your land, whether you sell it or you don't sell it, you are in trouble. You people are gone. And as I speak to you today, Nigeria has a total of 774 local government. And I can tell you that if they have 774 local government, look closely. In some local government, you have more than 7 ethnic groups. And if you magnify that number raised to power 3, you will discover that we have approximately over 2001 ethnic groups, domiciled, indigenous people here in Nigeria. And don't let anybody deceive you. Some of them have been assimilated. They don't exist anymore. And this is a call to resist the invaders, the expansionists. If they are trying to make you live under their shadow, you must refuse it. You must reject it. Because you are who you are. You never choose to be Igbo man. And neither did you choose to be Igbo man, Yoruba man, Hausa man, by indigene. But people gave you this name. And don't forget that it is God that makes tongues and tribes, not even man. And so anybody removing you from the original place God kept you is not your friend and certainly the enemy of your God. And how could they tell you how to worship God? You've forgotten that in the end day, every tongues and tribe. Somebody say it doesn't mean, but in the end day, it is only tongues and tribe that will stand before the Creator. You are not going to have a place to stand. I know you will not see the in-depth analysis of what I'm trying to tell you. Becoming who you are is not your choice. You never had a role to play, but maintaining that you are who you are is first of all respecting God and His boundary. We do not have right to choose our parents. Maybe my parents would not have been my parents. I do not have right to choose where I come from. Maybe if I do, I would not have been an Igbo man. But these are decisions that was made on my behalf. And the only thing I can do is to see how I can function there. And that is why in my last broadcast, I played a song known as Reincarnation. And that song simply says, I love where I am. And if there is anything like reincarnation, when I'm coming back again, I will still come back like Igbo man. If there is anything like reincarnation, when I come back again, I will still choose my mother and my father. I will still come as Igbo man. Makene alionye wondo ihe Igbo onye okwa ngonye nwene rishu dara arokotoba. You will not understand. I love my Igbo people. With one word, we can make 100 statements and all of them will fall in place. We are not Igbo. When we say alionye wondo, it means one thing, but yet a passing different vibration to us. When we say it means a lot to us. You have no idea. That is why we don't kill our people. We don't eat the flesh of our people. I am hungry, and if I am Igbo Biafra man, by now I will kill one of my king's men and eat his meat. Use it to do egusi soup. But we don't do it. And so when I enter as Igbo man, look at this platform. No Igbo person will come and insult me. No Igbo person will come and harass me, bully me. When they don't agree with me, they will move on and hope one day I will get back to my senses. Because we believe that in English, it means he who do, he do, he. Go to the dictionary and look for the meaning. But your values are not my value. Your values say, anywhere you reach, dominate it, take over. My value did not say no. There is a limit. There is a boundary. When you go to people's place, respect them. That is why we are not doing gra-gra. Because if we do, it's against our ethics. But then they also told us that that is why we resist you, even when there is no power left in us. And now, good people of Nigeria, those in authority, you cannot sincerely tell me that you are a progressive-minded person, and under your watch you allow certain group of invaders who say they are Igbo Biafra, not constitutionally recognized in Nigeria, to be claiming us, and you don't want us to talk. And you want to manipulate it and say you are generalizing it. It simply shows all of you are dishonest intellectual individuals. But we know you are not that. And I want to believe that by this little submission, you know why we are pushing hard. So that those who come from Equatorial Guinea, those who say they are Abraham children, will not chase us, the poor people, from our ancestral land. This is where I bring the broadcast to an end. And if you are listening to me, it's not just about talking about it. Most of you think I'm here to saga. Think again. I'm not here to saga. Nothing like saga. I'm here to put the wrong right. I am here to point our people in the right direction. And we have to sustain this tempo. Believe me, I can't do it alone. We need to create a lot of awareness. We need to learn from the expansionists to be able to checkmate them. We need to form a movement, and it has started already. If you are interested, you want to join, just know the project is capital intensive. If you are not ready to relinquish, to support the project, don't bother to come. Just stay where you are. When the food is done, the dish is ready, you can come and join. We need communication to every hamlet, every settlement, every village, communities, cities across our region, most especially. We need to know what is going there. When Fulani herdsmen invade, we need to know it's not Igbo unknown gunmen. We should know who we are dealing with. And to be able to create this system, it is capital intensive. The journey has started already. If you are interested, look for how to reach out to me. I am approachable. I am available. One Nigeria must be one Nigeria. A one Nigeria all of us can be proud of. Not a one Nigeria some Igbo people who say they are Biafra people who want to take over our life. And the next thing they do is they use their connection in the system, want to shut us down. Watch, they will soon come out and tell you, hungry, one killer, he is hungry, oh, he's a criminal. Africans are hungry, but yet no world power can survive without stealing from Africa. Africans are primitive, yet they just give them sanction and say, leave my country. Look at Macron, the president of France. Since many countries has aboard the ship, they are sick. They are trying to get themselves back. They are conspiring to see how they will get this African back. If they are truly almighty world power, why would they be scavenging around Africa? But you will not understand. Let's leave it at that. This is where I bring the broadcast to an end. If you understand, understand. If you don't understand, don't understand. Let me go back to my uncompleted building because there was no network in my uncompleted building. So I have to go to streets, around area. In the surrounding Welenuche. How many will you go the way go mountain? Osoko ubue. Only way I hear no more winning menu be mania. Onya bano lo mani kuetwa. Onwe ihe anya anyị hụ, onwe ihe anyị nwa amaara ụnụ mani leni. Mmenwa di mi gunu ndene no. We wa pa mbo imeme ihe liwe chonu we me. Rero ni we kijise nye pato makasa. Ebe chukwu no do wentu ishi no wa mani ne manu ihe waso. Maka ni mo bi we onye Niger Delta. Mari anu ihe raso. Me duele we no leke ru ayo esa. No we da mani ne manu asusu waso. Then ihe chozo nuwe gbu nuwe yemishi. Homeni chukwu ekweni. Kana mpu anwuru agwa mamu ndi wali ihe eme. We jade kpume onya wekpoto. We have to catch Oyibo man for backyard. So weli ihe lenya konu eku. Neko ha mono mbele ni. Fellow Nigerians, have a nice day.